I'll just take a few minutes, talk about a couple things that I think we're all here for. I think I've met maybe half the people in this room, the other people I haven't met. But the people in here that I have met already are, I look around the room and I see people that I've known now for, I think, 9 years. When I first left the Marine Corps and I went to work in finance, and then before too long just started getting a little bit politically engaged, because, you know, when you get phone calls from your friends saying, hey, did you hear about Corporal so-and-so or Sergeant so-and-so, and they're telling you about guys that you served with that got hit by an IED or shot by a sniper, and then, you know, 9 years on, we still get those calls, but now it's, hey, did you hear about them? They just killed themselves. And early on, a lot of those phone calls just started making me more sensitive to things that our politicians were saying. And some of you know the story. John Kerry said I was for the war before I was against the war, and so I read the Constitution because I just took an oath to it, wanted to read it. And it just kind of put me on this political journey. And before too long, after having read the Declaration of Independence, you find out that the whole purpose of government is to help keep people free. That's it. It's all government has to do. And so you get involved and you meet people. You meet some of the best people who are of the same mind. And everybody kind of gets in where they fit in, and they just join the fight. And one of the first people, Annette Reed came and helped me out in the campaign in a district everybody said couldn't be won. Judy Sofka, the Enos, other people came in, and it's a district we won 56% of the vote, almost 57% in a district that was 56% Democrat on average. And it just tells you that when people get behind a candidate that they believe in, you know, the voters will respond. And it's funny, we were sitting at this table and we're talking about just some of the political chatter, you know, that you get at events. Who's for this candidate? Who's for that candidate? What's some of the drama going on in the different races? But one thing that has probably continued to encourage me and probably several other people is that over the course of time, people that are like-minded usually wind up coming back together to support the right candidates, to support the right issues, to fight for the right things. And it makes me happy that for the years that I've known the guests and then the Lovascos, that now I get to come and support Tony for his race. And having been through 4 elections of my own, now in election number 5, I can tell you from firsthand experience that it means a lot to a candidate when they have supporters come and sit down at tables like this on a weekend to support their efforts, because I know he's no stranger to this, but campaigns can be grueling, they can be tiresome, and every now and then you get tagged on Facebook, and so you click on that little icon and you go just to find out that somebody's bashing you and beating you up. And let me tell you, you can have a great day, you can have a great weekend like this, and then one comment just ruins it all. But you know what helps fix all of that? What fixes all of that is when you see the same people coming back over and over and over again to support you in your cause. And I know Tony, this is how I feel about people that support my campaign. I know that Tony feels this way. I know he does. Whenever anybody gives a penny or they give $1, right? We know as candidates, we know that that's not money that we earned. We know that that's money that other people earned. And they believe in us so much that they're willing to give us their money to help us fight for a cause. And we are the return on that investment, right, Tony? We are the return on that investment. And so when you have all these people coming together for a common cause and a common candidate, it means so much. It's always meant a lot to me. And I know it means a lot to Tony, and so that's why when they had asked me if I could make it out tonight to be here, I checked my calendar. I told my assistant, I was like, hey, let's move whatever we got to move. If you remember the conversation, I was like, hey, I don't know if I'm going to have to check the calendar because, you know, we're in a statewide campaign. We're not sure yet. But we tried to move some things around to make sure that we could be here because the local elections is where liberty is won and lost. It really is. some people have heard me say this before. I can argue that we've lost more of our liberty through our pocketbook than from a rogue legislator trying to ban our guns or massively expand the welfare state, like to the points that it's ridiculous, right? But it's the little stuff that happens day in and day out that doesn't make the newspaper, little votes in county councils and in city council meetings where they're voting to accept federal money that comes with strings attached. Nobody really knows about it until suddenly there's a new program that's been created, and 2 or 3 years down the road, federal money's gone. Let's raise taxes because we got to go back to the county to get money to take care of that program that we created that just grew the size of government. And having somebody like Tony in office that understands what the proper role of government is and exactly what's at stake. It's not about a legacy, it's about our liberty. That means so much to the people of our state, and it means so much to the people of St. Charles County. And so it is without any hesitation whatsoever that I am glad to be here to support Tony and also to support the people that are supporting Tony. And over the course of the next several weeks or months or however long it takes to make sure that we see this campaign through, Tony, I want you to know that I'll do whatever I can to help you out. And I did. I went to the website. I went to CoolidgeDay.com. We did that. I think Austin did it too. We were both sitting there trying to figure out how that worked. Genius idea, by the way. And I pitched in $25, table 7. $25. So if anybody wants to beat us on that, you all better start pitching in $25 at least. But I'm really glad to do it, Tony, and whatever I can do to support you. And I wish you all the best. And certainly we'll be praying for you too, because for a family, this is a stressful time for a family. And so certainly all of our prayers, thoughts, concerns, and encouragement, and the best encouragement comes when you get that little email notification, hey, you just got $20, like just out of the blue, right? It is such a relief to know that somebody else was thinking of you on their own without even getting an email for a money bomb or whatever. So it's exciting. I'm glad that you're running, and it's going to be great when you're the next councilman for St. Charles.